Introducing to you first the challenger on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, entering the ring wearing black trunks with multicolor trim, hailing from Brighton, England. He weighed in at 229 pounds with a record of 19 wins, 2 losses. He has 16 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the former British and Commonwealth champion, currently ranked the WBO #1 heavyweight contender in the world, known as the Brighton Rock, introducing Scott Welch. And his opponent across the ring, presenting the defending world champion on my right, fighting out of the red corner, entering the ring wearing solid black trunks, white lettering, from London, England, now residing in Tallahassee, Florida. His weight, 232 pounds. His record is a fine one at 31 wins, no losses, 1 draw, and 19 wins coming by way of knockout. Tonight, making the second defense of his title, please welcome the defending WBO heavyweight champion of the world, the undefeated Henry Akinwande. And once again, a referee in charge, Bill Connors, now to give instructions.
Let's clear some of these people. Whoa. Back here. Back here. All right, you both received your instruction. Hey. You both received your instruction in the dressing room. I want you to listen to my commands at all times. I want a clean fight now. Any questions over here? Any questions over here? Protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves. Good luck to both of you. Touch. Hold it.
Still bad blood. You noticed Welch nearly walked Akinwande all the way to his corner to stare him down. Big Henry had the reputation of being a boring fighter, a lot of grabbing and jabbing. His image improved with his explosive win over Jeremy Williams for the vacant title. However, not a knockout artist, but looking to improve his punching technique, particularly against this man, Scott Welch, looking to become only the 4th heavyweight champ from England after Bob Fitzsimmons, Frank Bruno, and Akinwande. Here we go. This is the first All-English world title fight in any weight division to take place off British soil.
Well, you can see Scott is all wound up. Well, he's got a tight spring there. He wants to go at it. He just can't figure out how to get in without getting hit by that left hook and the left jab that will stand him off.
And Welch going to the brawling tactics there, but neutralized by the straight right hand of Henry Akinwande.
No, Scott Welch looks a little tight right now, a little jittery. That will drain you energy-wise. That'll take something out of it. He needs to just relax and start working, work his way in, make Henry throw some punches and miss, and make him pay. Go to the body.
Yeah, he is so into getting this thing into a rumble, and he's too tight, and that'll drain him. Akinwande said to us, I fight when I want to fight, and meaning he picks his spots. The other guy's just trying to look wildly without any plan as to how to get in. That's a bad game plan for Scott.
Akinwande predicting a 3rd round knockout. Welch told us, as Purdy mentioned, this fight is about heart and guts. And he said Akinwande has none of that. He said, I'll slow him down, do whatever it takes. I refuse to lose. He said, I have a plan. I'll blitz him for 12 rounds. Henry doesn't plan to be around that long.
You know, it's funny. From time to time, the fighters won't divulge their strategy, and Welch was one of those who didn't necessarily trust.
Look at this.
We wouldn't say anything.
WWF tactics here, now holding and hitting by Welch.
That may be because he didn't have a strategy about him. His strategy, rough him up, is not a boxing strategy.
He claimed that Akinwande's not prepared to stand in there and trade with him. He said Akinwande will run.
Let's go. Akinwande's not actually a runner, a basic mover, and obviously jabbing from the outside, but not really a runner. He likes to just step around his man, keep him at bay with that big, long range. Well, Welch has to fight his way in behind jabs. He can't just leap in with big hooks.
And Akinwande very patient. He waits for his moment, just as he did with Jeremy Williams after that reckless start by Jeremy. And Akinwande said, hey, if Welch comes out brawling as he has, he'll be open for the uppercut. He said, I'll just pick my time.
Frankie Warren, the English promoter, said to me, he's got to go to the body. He's going to go under, and he's going to get to the body. I said, that is easier said than done. This guy's got a jab that makes you pay a stiff toll to come in.
Yeah, he said, I'll set everything up off the jab, just as you said, and wait for the opening.
You just don't get that body looks inviting. You just don't get in that easy. It's a long, tall, thin body, but it's a tough price to pay to get there.
No.
It's going to be a lot of holding. This is the type of fight. One's going to charge and one's going to tie up. There's going to be some punches in between, but this could get very ugly.
As Scott gets a little bit more desperate, you'll see some butting going on because this guy's a tough fighter. And then it's when it's going to get tough. And that's when the referee is going to have to be very, very strict. William Connors has refereed a lot of championship fights. He shouldn't have any problem in.
Up from Hialeah, Florida, there's the bell. Round 1 over.
Hey, so chill out. Right, chill out. Now listen, first round out of the way. You've got to hold your ground again. Showing too much space. Put that left hand top of the right hand. Concentration. Now listen, the first round's out of the way. Stay cool, stay calm, stay calculated. Now you can start edging into it now, but keep the pressure, keep the pace. Give it some water, nice. Now listen to me, you hear what I'm saying? Listen, you've got to hold your ground with him, Scott. Keep your right hand tight, move away from his right hand. Now listen, hold your ground, you've got to be the man, Scott. You've got to take his world title off of him. Okay? You listening? Hold your ground when he comes, Scott. Move him with your hands up. Pressure him, hands up high. Are you listening? Hold your ground. Want it, Scott, want it. Want it. It's the first round out of the way. Get the pressure on.
The very thick British accent of Jim McDonald, the corner of Scott Welch, and Don Turner, also the trainer of a fellow named Evander Holyfield, with instructions to Henry Akinwande. So here we go, round number 2. Very noticeable scar over the right eye of Welch. That's not from this fight. It's from a headbutt in his 3rd fight back in 1993. But we'll keep an eye out on that.
And that was 14 stitches to close that up. He said he's had problems with it from time to time. I would think so. Still, it looks red right now. It's just started.
Right now, Welch is waiting too long. He's letting Akinwande work behind the jab. Even though the jab's not being effective, he's blocking most of them. He's not applying that pressure, the body pressure, or the punching pressure. He's not throwing punches.
Akinwande undefeated his only blemish, controversial draw with Axel Schultz in '92, which he later avenged.
He's fought good opposition, and he's done well. You know, sometimes fighters mistake quiet fighters for weakness or not strength. And that's the exact opposite of most of these guys. They're very quiet, and then they fight like crazy.
Look at this. Hitting behind the head is Scott Welch. The crowd getting on Welch, and so is Bill Connors.
Next time, leave your point.
Well, I'll tell you what, there was a little bit of a butt in there that didn't look so incidental.
Next time, Connors says he'll take a point away from Welch.
You can see as frustration builds up, he's going to revert back to street fighting, butting, hitting behind the head, and this referee won't take it. He won't take it.
Again, the street tactics, the brawling tactics of Scott Welch, bodily picking Akinwande up. Akinwande with the left hand there, working the left hook to the body. Now, here's that shotgun jab.
Oh, that was nice. That was nice.
And again, Akinwande looks over to referee Bill Connors as if to say, give me a hand here. Mr. Referee, this guy's hitting below the belt now.
No.
Akinwande just waiting for his moment.
I'm so short I might have to get on the ladder just to hit him below the belt. What Welch is doing right now, too, he's ducking, he's trying to weave inside. Once he goes to weave inside, Akinwande just ties him up. He's got to throw punches while he's moving.
Welch with the raw skills. Back in March, he stopped 46-year-old Joe Bugner in the 6th. I'm not sure I boast that too loudly, but it is a W. You see where Bugner wants to fight George Foreman. They could hold the fight at one of Welch's convalescent homes.
Yeah, so they can just walk to bed when they get through.
Well, I'll tell you, if they wouldn't do George Foreman with Larry Holmes, they're not going to do it with Joe Bugner.
Well, I want to tell you, the worst fight.
Look out. Welch goes down to one knee, but that was not a knockdown.
It was more of a run over.
Yes.
And then he hit him on the back of the head while he's down.
That's exactly what Bill Connors just said. No more of that to Akinwande. So this is turning into a foul fest. It's a combination at the bell by Akinwande.
Go as soon as you hit it. When he comes in, you feint him and you throw an uppercut and left hook, man. That's all.
Don't be dirty. Just keep your head. You understand? We're going to take him out. But you got to do it your way. With your jabs, your uppercuts, your hooks. You understand?
Let's take a look at some of that dirty fighting that keeps cropping. See that? That looked like that was
the headbutt, Ferdy.
A butt and then a headbutt. So you saw that headbutt. That twist to the head real fast is a headbutt. And then, Bobby.
Well, you know, here Akinwande just kind of runs over him, leaps in, and then hits him in the back of the head while he's down on one knee. Both of these guys letting their emotions get the better of them right now.
Yes, both resorting to the roughhouse tactics as we enter round number 3. In round 2, Welch got a warning from Bill Connor shortly after Akinwande connected, as if to put an exclamation point on the warning.
Akinwande wearing that knee brace that he wears all the time apparently doesn't bother him, just gives him comfort, security, if you will, to know that that's bolstered up properly.
You know, he got some very good advice in the corner, did Akinwande. Turner told him, listen, feint him, throw the right uppercut and the left hook behind the guy's laying right there for it. Good advice. If he does it, we'll see.
Yeah, he said, hey, Welch is ready to go. Akinwande, a good defensive fighter. He gets in and out pretty fast.
You know, in profile and just about nothing else, this guy looks like Jerry Quarry. Remember Jerry Quarry? In profile, he looks like...
In profile?
No, but yeah, not in talent. But maybe in guts.
Well, you see, just a minute ago, saw Welch slip a nice right hand back, Akinwande, swing up underneath, but then just hold or get inside. He's got to throw the uppercut and hook himself. He's got to come in with punches when he makes Akinwande miss.
Scott Welch, very patriotic, came in calling Akinwande all kinds of names because he lives in Florida and comes into the American national anthem. He said he wants to bring the title back to England, the true British title. You notice the
nice right hand.
Severe right by Henry Akinwande that landed to the face of Welch, and now he backs Welch up against the ropes and pours it on.
You see, good fighting. Good couple of good punches, backed off a little bit, takes a look at his work. Hey, he's doing a job on Scott.
Welch with a wild swing and a miss afterwards. There's that straight left jab by Akinwande looking to set up the right.
Right now, Scott Welch cannot get down the timing of Henry Akinwande. He cannot time the big shots. He's making some of the jabs miss, but he's not countering. He's blocking some, and he's still not countering.
Would you like to see Akinwande throw some more combinations, though? A right, left, right, a 1-2 or a 1-2-3, just to see what it would be like.
I don't think you could do it on this guy. It's not the fighter for this. I mean, he is taking him apart one punch at a time. He's landing him effectively. Look at that.
And there it is, one punch at a time, wearing Welch down, as you can see. It's already taking effect.
He's doing what he wants to do. He fights when he wants to.
Oh, a thumping left to the top of Welch's head by Akinwande. Guy's got a hard head, fellas.
That right hand's going to carry him out of this place if he keeps landing it like that. You can't keep taking that right hand.
But it was a slashing right cross by Akinwande at the bell.
Listen. I'll tell you exactly what you're doing. You're showing him too much respect. You're standing outside him and he's picking you up with long jabs and right hands. You've got to push him back. You've got to be a British Bulldog. You've got to push him back. Oh, listen to me, Scott. Listen, you've got to take this fight by the ball. He's getting too confident, Scott. He's backing you up and he's filling you up with the jabs and straight away. Nice and easy. Now listen. Let's hold your ground. Let's get moving like fight.
This is the right hand we're talking about that he's beginning to land with such authority. You can't take those thumping shots and be around for many more rounds. Those are hard right hands. Bobby.
Yeah, you know, part of the problem, watch Akinwande's back right foot. It's up in the air when he hits.
Yeah.
He can't drive with his legs up in the air. He can't get the power. Good, quick, sharp. A point, yes, but that kind of right hand is not going to knock him out like it did Jeremy Williams. He's got to have his feet planted.
Round number 4, historically, Akinwande looks to avoid brawls and street fights, although he has shown himself capable under the circumstances. And speaking of brawls, Welch delivering here.
Well, that corner told him you got to do something. He's blown the first 3 rounds. On my scorecard, he's blown all 3.
This wrestling stuff under the chin, you understand?
No more. You clean up or I disqualify. I ain't voting for this.
You can hear the words of referee Bill Connors.
That offset word these days, disqualified. I mean, we're getting to be a disqualifying sport here.
You know, somewhere in the rule books, it's actually illegal to clinch in boxing, but no one ever bothers with it.
Yeah, right.
So I think somehow we're going to have to rewrite the entire rule book someday.
They ought to tear that page out and burn it. That's a joke.
Guys, how about billing a fight, The Foul Fest, starring Scott Welch and Andrew Galata?
Yeah, that would be good. Now, that's a good combination.
Galata's even too blatant for him.
Oh, nice right hand again, and his leg wasn't up in the air that time, Bobby.
Scott Welch is Mother Teresa compared to Andrew Galata.
Let him off.
Hey, Akinwande's game. He comes right back in, and a vicious uppercut to the body of Scott Welch. He told us he would wait for the opening to try to unleash the uppercut on Welch.
Right now, Welch appears to be waiting, leaning on the ropes and waiting for one big counter as if it's going to come. It may or it may not, but it's not going to come while he's getting hit. And Akinwande right now being careful and accurate.
Akinwande loading up with that right. He's got a 5-inch height advantage at 6'7".
So much for going out and getting his bottle. I mean, his bottle went back for deposits. That's it for that.
Well, I'll tell you, for you to walk up those stairs into that square ring, you got to have a certain amount of bottle to start with, I believe. So
I mean, he was so disdainful of him in the interview. He's got nothing. We'll go right through and we're going to fight. Look at this. It's round 4 round 4, and there stands Henry Akinwande pounding on this guy.
If you're just joining us, bottle is a Cockney expression for heart or guts, and Scott Welch said that Akinwande didn't have it.
If he's good enough, he won't really need it.
Right.
Well, he's not going to have to draw much on it today because he is giving a little lesson here to
See, part of the
Scott.
problem with a fighter of that height and that kind of reach, Henry can just use a couple jabs. As soon as Welch steps to him, he can hold. And somewhere along the way, I believe that's why they wrote that rule of clinching being bad. It's probably a tall guy like that that initiated the writing.
Get out of there. Let him alone.
Akinwande with that awkward style and causes all kinds of problems. And he's holding and hitting Akinwande, and referee Bill Connors was behind him. Heading for the bell in round number 4.
Scott Welch is befuddled in the sense that he doesn't know how to initiate the action. All he can do is take and receive Henry's action. He's not a counterpuncher.
Listen, no panic. Shield. Listen. Ray, let me talk. Listen. Now stay cool. Now listen, no panic. Listen. You ain't really testing him just yet, Scott. And we got to do, listen, you've got to be first. You're waiting when you're trying to outbox him too much. But you're being negative, Scott. Yeah. You've got to lay it on the line. You said you were going to put it on the line. You've got to put it on the line. Now listen, keep your punches short, but slip his moves and move in on him. When you find him with a jab. When you find him with a jab.
All right, let's take a look at how things are progressing in the dirty arena. As you can see, they're getting in close. When they get in close, I mean, that's when you have the opportunity to hold and hitting, and you also have the
a little bit of choking.
Yeah, choking. Every little bit of things, but not bad. That wasn't a bad example. That was just sort of that's the way it goes.
Now, what is that? Henry Akinwande sticking his tongue out at somebody in the crowd. Round number 5.
Oh, really?
That's unlike him.
How unsportsmanlike.
You know what? Somebody probably, screamed something to him in a derogatory manner. It's happened to me many times. A fighter, a friend of the fighter, a girlfriend of somebody that I'm fighting, obviously they hate me.
I've seen you do that to Ferdy.
And going through the lobby, people do that to me.
Exactly. You're on the same wavelength there. Here we go. Round number 5. The roughhouse tactics continue, and Welch, off balance, just landed one straight on the forehead of Akinwande.
Because his corner is bleeding him. You first. Don't be in a panic, but you have to attack. You said you were going to go get him. You don't do it. So they're getting exasperated in the corner.
He can't do it consistently backing up. He's never going to have any real chance to build some momentum going backward, getting hit.
Welch is coming in head first like a bull here, trying to headbutt.
And caught an elbow right in the face.
He's frustrated.
He's got to be careful, Akinwande, because it's going to bust his head open. The result of a vicious head-first move by Scott Welch, the challenger.
Oh, very clean. Let's go out of there, Henry.
He started doing it at the press conference on Thursday, and it's carried over into the fight.
Well, he might have won the press conference, but he's losing this.
Oh, yeah.
No. Break him there. Stop it, Scott. Very clean. Let's go. Let him out, Henry. Let him out.
Akinwande, very bloodshot eyes right now. He's just trying to hold off this big guy, Scott Welch. Strong bruiser from Brighton, England. But it's Akinwande's fight. He dominated Alexander Zulkin. He ripped up Zulkin's face. He's trying to do the same here.
You see, even on the attack there, you'll notice very clearly Akinwande, 2 jabs, a right hand hook and hold. 2 jabs, a right hand hook and hold. He doesn't want to get into a brawl, but at the same time, he shouldn't be allowed to punch and hold just because he has reach advantage.
That was a nice combination right there. That's a nice. Whoa.
Here's that combination we were talking about.
The combination behind the head.
Well, he landed a good one, too, there.
Now some inside uppercuts by Akinwande.
Very clean.
Bill Connors has his hands full here tonight. Here's the left jab by Akinwande, surveying the situation.
Well, the write-up of this fight is the kamikaze assault promised by Scott in the first 3 rounds didn't materialize. And when he found out that the other guy is a better boxer, it has disintegrated into one guy picking apart the other.
You'll see 2 or 3 times here again, Welch slipped the right hand reasonably well, but offered no retaliation. He cannot even come close to think he has a chance of winning if he doesn't do it.
He's game. He's just not in the same class skill-wise as Akinwande.
Oh, let him out. Very clean.
The bell upcoming.
When you hit him, take a half a step back and hit him again. All he gonna do is grab. Don't let him grab him. He can hurt your arm. Don't let him do that, man.
He is an amateur compared to you. You understand? He's an amateur compared to you. You dictate the fight. You telling me, all right? I'm gonna see it.
All right, here comes the charge of the Light Brigade. They just told him, go do everything you can. And watch, Scott, he came in, but he came in like a football player. He came in like a linebacker trying to stop the hole. You know what
exactly. I mean? He's not coming in behind punches. You can't win the fight that way.
You can't come in with your head.
Man,
you
get him
punch.
out of here. Let's go, Henry. Come on, let's go.
He's just been told, Henry's been told, this is an amateur in here with you a pro.
Come on, take that.
And that's a little harsh, but it's not far from wrong.
Pittsburgh Steelers could have used Scott Welch last week. Yeah, Don Turner said, hey, you're crowding him. Take a step back and see what happens.
See, that's exactly what we're just talking about. He charged. Akinwande didn't punch, backed up, and he didn't throw. He's got to throw on the way in.
I mean, to come charging in without throwing a punch, look, it's a height of craziness. Like, what for? Right. He did it again.
To me, that also signals that Welch is worried about getting hit. He has some, he's overly conscious about the punches. He has some fear of getting hit.
Bobby, do you think that Welch may be fighting too much on emotion in this fight because of the things he told us?
It could very well be, Steve, that he's just so anxious that he's taking completely out of his game plan.
A straight right hand, excuse me, Bob. Straight right hand by Akinwande, and that got the knees of Scott Welch very wobbly. He almost went down. He just caught himself.
That right hand's been landing all night. You cannot take those punches without feeling it sooner or later.
And now the left, followed by the right uppercut, a glancing blow. That one had more contact.
Well, now he's finally putting the uppercuts together and working them underneath, doing what Don Turner told him.
Akinwande smothering Welch with punches now, sensing that he's got him in trouble. But a long way to go here. Minute 42 and counting for Welch. If he is to survive the 6th round, he's in a survival mode now. Akinwande continues to unleash the uppercuts. And Welch just holds on.
I would think that Welch would at least just let off and throw a wild haymaker, trying to establish something.
Welch 19-2, 16 knockouts. Akinwande looking to stay undefeated, 31-0-1 with 19 KOs. He has thoroughly dominated the challenger Scott Welch, who looks totally worn out here by some of those punishing blows. You notice he's keeping his distance now. That stuff hurts. Uppercut, right uppercut, almost on the chin by Akinwande. Just missed. Get the feeling Mr. Welch beginning to respect the champion here a little bit.
Yeah, I think he has forgotten about doing battle.
Welch's serious troubles began 45 seconds into round 6. And Akinwande connected with that straight right. That's his...
But he's not even trying, Steve. He's got to just, even if he's tired, if he's hurt, if his rib is broken, no matter what's wrong, throw something and try. Anything has the possibility of happening.
You cannot win if you don't throw any punches. I mean, there's no possibility of winning a match. So it's almost like he's quit.
He's exhausted so much energy with the roughhouse tactics. Seems to have nothing left.
Listen, don't start feeling sorry for yourselves. It's tough business. Yeah. Listen, focus. You're in that bubble. Listen, nothing. We don't care. It's a night's work. Now listen, just listen to me. Even if you throw one decent shot this round, do it for your baby. Pitch your shot. Try and nail him. Listen, you've got to throw decent shots. Find him little...
I think I'm loaded up too much.
Yeah, but listen, you're not throwing nothing, Scott. You're letting him dictate. He's backing you up. He's getting your moves. He's working you over.
What? Spit over there if you want to spit.
You listen to me? You've got to take the ball by the arm.
Let's take a look at that right hand. That's landing with regularity and having a cumulative effect. There it is, right. That one's behind the ear. Look at him fold. It's a miracle he didn't go down. Let's take another look at that, Bobby. You tell me what you see.
Well, you know, you can clearly see that shot's on the side of the head, maybe even completely behind the ear, and his knees do go down. That shock to the system, that shock to the cranium will sometimes make your legs go.
Welch buckled, nearly went down. That was the closest thing to a knockdown. We now enter round 7, halfway through this fight, and Welch isn't doing much to take the championship in his first title shot.
And he said to his corner, I think I'm loading up too much, and the guy said, you're not throwing at all. I mean, it's like a revelation to him. You're loading the cannon. You're not firing it. I have Akinwande a shutout, 60-54.
I concur. I don't believe anyone could score it otherwise. Scott Welch is just not throwing the punches. He's not getting beat that badly in certain instances, but he's not fighting almost at all.
But neither is he winning a round in any kind of system. In any kind.
He's not even winning portions of a round, which is upsetting. If you have a guy comes in and says, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that.
Akinwande now digging to the body. Welch just walking into jabs by Akinwande.
Oh, another right hand.
Straight right hand by Henry Akinwande.
That is going to carry the night. He keeps that up, and he will sweep this young man away. Welch cannot keep taking that kind of punch.
Now the right uppercut to the jaw of Scott Welch.
Hold it, break clean.
You know, you see where Welch is down like that. He's got one hand down, he's got the other one blocking his face, and he's weaving, and Akinwande's punching. All he has to do is spring up out of there and try. Maybe something lands.
I mean, certainly can't get hit any more than he's getting hit. I mean, you know, what's he got to lose? Throw it.
Step out of there.
Halfway through round 7, straight right hand by Akinwande.
All right, tied up, break clean. Let's go. Break clean.
The right of Akinwande continues to score with regularity, setting it up with the jab.
Oh, you're tied up. Let's arrest him. Step out. Come on, let him alone.
Both corners were remarkably quiet, and when I was working corners, you'd be up there screaming, throws it, but throw it. I mean, screaming at him till your voice was gone by the 6th round, because this guy's not throwing it.
Now, right now, he might be just content in his mind to go the distance and say he's been the distance with the world champion. I don't know what that totally accomplishes. If you never put yourself in a position to win, to me, it doesn't really do anything.
No, if you go the distance in a heck of a fight, yeah. But if you go in the distance in a shutout, that ain't anything.
What do they call that? A moral victory.
I doubt it. I mean, I don't even think
it's much. There's a combination by Henry Akinwande and Welch. I think it was a combination of getting stung and also slipped.
It was a good right hand and 2 good lefts and a right hand.
Break, you're tied up, man. Step out.
Under 30 seconds, round 7. Scott Welch utterly exhausted.
And frustrated. The word is frustrated. Puzzle, he doesn't know how to throw it. He's loading up, but he can't pull the trigger.
Straight right hand. Once again by Henry.
Break clean, step out. Step back.
Repeat of the last round, gentlemen.
A repeat of every round.
It's deja vu all over again. Coming up next, the WBA Junior Welterweight Championship. We check the The dressing room of the champion Frankie the Surgeon Randall, moments away from defending his title against Khalid Rahilu, three-time world champion, will always be remembered as the first fighter to beat Julio Cesar Chavez, shocking the boxing world.
All right, let's take a look at some of this repetitive action where Welch gets in trouble. Look, see the right hand? If that guy wasn't moving his face away as fast as he was, that landed flush. Boy, he'd have been in the seats. Bobby.
Yeah, you see Scott Welch is just going back, and he's not really doing much, and his feet aren't really under him. He just, again, he falls under his own momentum, just swinging wildly and missing, no balance. He's just not putting it together right now.
No strength, no energy. I mean, he's like a rag there.
It's a little flat, Freddie.
Round 8, little sidelight here, guys, in between rounds. Oliver McCall up near Akinwande's corner, yelling instructions and encouragement. Just keep him away from any Christmas trees that could be in the area.
Oliver McCall is here?
Yeah, McCall had a little problem throwing a tree in a Nashville hotel lobby recently.
Is that right?
Giving a new meaning to Christmas tree flinging.
All right, round number 8. Of course, he's preparing for Lennox Lewis, who he defeated handily a few years ago. It was round 2, I think.
He's getting killed by the jab, and he keeps saying, come on, throw it again. That's Welch. Welch is saying, come on.
See, again, he slips the right hand, but offers nothing. Henry Akinwande will never stop throwing punches if he doesn't have to pay for his misses. Scott Welch has to make him pay.
Step back and reset. That's it. See, Henry is doing it right. Henry is doing everything he's supposed to do. Step back, reset, come back again.
Yeah, that's what Don Turner called him. Oh, there's
back, reset,
vicious
back
right.
Again. That's great stuff.
This is a clinic now by Henry Akinwande.
All right, you're tied up. Break clean. Step out.
And
Step out.
Scott Welch is clearly the pupil.
He's not even offering too much now off the ropes. He doesn't even step off the ropes. Just leans back on the ropes and seems to be prepared to just try and block shots and survive.
I don't remember the last time he's thrown a punch.
Exactly what I was going to say. I don't remember the last 2 rounds he's thrown an offensive punch where he initiated the action.
When he came out in the very beginning of this round, one jab.
In which case, I wonder when the referee is justified in going over and saying, listen, fellas, if you don't fight, I'm stopping this fight for a non-performance. I mean, you just can't just keep walking away getting punished when you've lost every round.
Look at that jab by Akinwande, and that stung. And once again, Scott Welch in the survival mode. No longer the straightforward brawling tactics as we saw the first few rounds.
Every once in a while, he just throws a perfunctory slap in the direction of Akinwande, so as just to let him know, I'm still here, by the way.
But it's not offensive. It's like right there. Throw it. No, nothing. I mean, every time you see him coming, you know you can throw at least a jab. You know, a straight right hand coming right straight from your shoulder. And Ali off the ropes punch. Nothing. This guy throws nothing.
Now the crowd responding, starting to boo.
See, there was some nice slipping, and he made some punches miss, but he offered nothing when he came up. Just stood up and then backed up.
Akinwande's chopping right has been effective throughout the fight, partly due to Welch's strategy of ducking and trying to clinch.
And I'm just thinking, if Randall were a heavyweight, as fast and as mean as Randall is, you think this fight would have lasted this long if Frankie Randall were a heavyweight?
They would have found something wrong, though, with Randall, right?
Yeah, poor Randall. Bad luck, Randall.
Yeah, that is it. Well, take you on a little tour here in Nashville. Why not? In a city with a music store on almost every corner, Nashville's Gruen Guitars has become famous the world over for its collection of rare vintage guitars and other stringed instruments. Here, Chet Atkins, Dolly Parton, Lyle Lovett, Linda Ronstadt, Emmylou Harris, and ZZ Top, just to name a few, do much of their guitar shopping. I even saw Bobby Chesson there the other day. And the most expensive instrument currently for sale in the store, a 1957 Gibson Flying V prototype that has a price tag of a mere $100,000. You bought that, 30.
No, I'd have bought a Packard instead.
We are here at the Nashville Arena in downtown Nashville, Tennessee. Capacity 19,500. Not a very good crowd on hand, partly due to the frigid weather conditions outside. A blistering snowstorm yesterday that has held some of the people back.
The streets are sheets of ice.
Amazing.
I mean, You see these cars just sliding along like, I mean, it's amazing what the streets look like in this place.
Well, Henry Akinwande is sliding along into round number 9, having his way with fellow countryman Scott Welch.
Step back, let him alone, Henry. Hey, no more of that twisting the arm now.
Bill Connors continues to be disgusted by the tactics here by Welch.
Well, he can do little else.
Breaking there, break clean.
Well, Welch at least with some offense there, throwing a punch but not coming close, grazing the ear of Akinwande. Now a little jab.
Look at this. He woke up.
Welch, yes, a little boxing. Akinwande answers right back with a jab.
Akinwande says, oh, you want a jab? Here's how you do that.
That's all Akinwande has to do, and this fight is pretty much in the bag. He barely has to stand up for the next couple of rounds.
That is a powerful jab, Bobby. I mean, that is sending the bruising Welch back to the ropes.
So Welch goes back to the corner and says, see, I told you I shouldn't have thrown. I threw one jab, and I got 20 jabs in return. What'd you tell me to do that for? Boy, Akinwande said, oh, jabs. I remember that.
If anything, he woke a sleeping giant.
Yeah, look at all the jabs he's thrown. He's like, he remembered about it.
Oh, there was the best punch by Welch all night. A left hook to the face of Akinwande.
And Akinwande held on hard. I don't think it hurt him that much, but Akinwande clearly does not like to get hit either.
Of course, they were followed by 2 rapid punches to the back of the head.
Go.
Oh, a little taunting here by Welch.
No, you're tied up. Breaking him. Let him out, Henry.
Boy, I don't think I've ever seen feet as big as on Akinwande. He stood right in front of us. All of a sudden, I went down like, whoa, what is that, a shoebox?
Breaking there. Break. Let him out, Henry. Come on.
Henry Akinwande looking to get into the heavyweight title unification sweepstakes. What does he have to do to bode well for the future?
Obviously, when he gets a fighter that's an inferior talent, just looking to survive, he's got to come in there and finish the show. I wasn't joking when I said if Frankie Randall were a heavyweight, do you think we would have been still here? I meant that intensity to take a guy out when he's obviously inferior to you and is, if not scared of you, is at least timid about fighting with you.
Akinwande
he's got to show a killer.
He's showing us that he's content to do just enough, and just enough will never get him that recognition or that respect that he wants. He's got to be convincing. He's got to be serious to the point, and he's got to win big. He's got to be amazing.
Well, here on Showtime, we've seen some guys who were way behind on points, scored devastating knockouts to win. But this man, Scott Welch, so far has not shown us the power that would make that happen.
Well, to begin with, he would have to throw a punch. I mean, that doesn't happen without throwing some punches. And he hasn't done that. But right now, it's no longer a question of what he's going to do. It's a question of what Akinwande's going to do. He's got to finish the show big. He should knock this guy out here in the next few rounds, finish the show big, and say it's a bad night against a guy who didn't want to fight. That's it.
Don't be fighting in no 10-second rules. Come on, man. You got 3 rounds in you?
Yeah.
You go out there and fight. Go out there and beat this guy up, man. Come on. You hitting the guy twice and you grabbing him. You making him grab you. Hit him twice, step back. And then throw that under. Throw that under. Give me that towel. Give me that towel.
The green towel up there.
Here you see Welch. He throws that left hook, lands right, and immediately 3 rapid punches. Yeah, here's a couple of noogies to go with you because he held on. And, you know, unfortunately, he's not doing enough. And I understand how frustrated he probably is because I've had bigger, taller guys hold, but he's just not doing anything on the way in.
Yeah, if you're going to get the big bucks, you got to know how to take care of these guys. That's it. That's the answer. Going to be a big-time heavyweight, you got to know how to take care of these guys.
Bernie Welch has been in round 10 a couple of times, never passed round 10. I noticed that Frank Warren, the big-time promoter in England who promotes Scott Welch, was in Welch's corner between rounds, and I'm not exactly sure what he was saying, but he was saying it in emphatic fashion.
Yeah, I think you have to give him some steam. Say, you know, you got 3 rounds here. I mean, you could solve this in 3 rounds. You haven't done anything, so you shouldn't be tired. So get going. Do anything you got to do. Leave here on your shield, but leave an impression. This guy can't come back to the United States and fight off this fight.
Well, his headbutt in the press conference might have been his best contact of the night or of the week against Akinwande.
You know, it was kind of funny. In the corner, Akinwande's guy said, only 3 more. You can go 3 more rounds, can't you? I mean, I can never. This guy is so fresh, and he's putting him away. What's he? It's like asking a tired fighter to suck it up for 3 more rounds. I don't know why he would be tired. He's been doing nothing but a gym workout here.
You know, you watch Henry Akinwande, he'll work his way in behind the jab combination, throw the right hand, bring the uppercut up, and then automatically reset. He'll never double up or triple up the combination attack, which is what he has to do to get Scott out.
But the bottom line here, isn't it that Akinwande not only has to win, but he has to impress? He's got to have a knockout here.
That's it. Good fighters solve these problems.
And Welch coming back with a right, looking very determined. And now the taunting by Henry Akinwande. Comes right back with a combination.
That was the first good punch in, I don't know, 6-7 rounds by Welch. First good.
Which he should have been doing all through.
And he didn't follow it. He didn't
slip a shot and take a bomb.
This is Akinwande's reply to Welch's statements towards him. Right hook by Scott Welch. Akinwande is careless now. Got to be careful.
Well, Welch has absolutely stunk out the joint, and he must take a chance now. When he took 2 chances, he landed. I mean, what's the matter with him? Didn't he feel that? Go after him now.
Too much showboating here by Akinwande, and he paid the price just a second ago.
And he got careless.
Under a minute remaining, round 10.
And you don't know why he starts Akinwande either. He's not one of those kind of guys you hit 1 punch and starts him.
He's never been down in his career, pro or amateur.
So, it's not like you're looking for 1 punch to send this guy to dreamland.
He's still looking for the 1 shot. 1 shot's not going to get it done. He's not Mike Tyson. He's not Evander Holyfield. He can't box like one. He can't punch like the other. He has to do whatever it takes. If that takes means swarming, but he's got to be active. He has to be in it to win it.
Boy, Welch just walked into a straight left hand. Akinwande.
Not only was the jab coming hard, but he walked into it. It's like double the power.
Akinwande just missing with that straight right hand.
Step back in.
Hey, Henry, stop playing with this guy. Don't make him tell you to come on. You go to him, but don't go straight in on him.
All he's doing is trying to con you.
He's trying to survive, man.
Take a slow.
Come on, man.
When you hit him good,
put your head over this foot.
Let's take one of these rare looks. A good sequence for Welch. Very, very intriguing. See, he took the shot. He didn't land that one too good. I mean, it looked much better in person than it did on that replay just then. See, now he's exhorting him on. That's the play. Bobby.
You know, he keeps trying it, and here comes Akinwande right back. He threw 1 right hand over the top. Welch did, and then hit him with a couple of shots behind the head. But he's not doing enough. It's just far too little, far too late.
There he comes. See, he launched himself in without a punch. I mean, like, that is a height of ridiculousness. I mean, he launched himself in, got inside without a punch, and grabbed him.
Akinwande predicted the 3rd round knockout. Wild swing and a miss by Scott Welch. Here we are in round 11. And in these late rounds, Welch's corner is yelling, go for it, go for broke. Akinwande told in his corner by Don Turner, stop showboating. Don't let him come to you. And that's exactly what we were talking about. Now he stumbles down. That's not a knockdown. No knockdown, surprisingly, in this fight. Almost, though. These guys have one common opponent. Both scoring early round TKOs over a fighter named Steve Garber.
You know, you got to think.
Henry Akinwande is always going to be an awkward guy to fight, Freddie, but he's just not trying.
Bobby, you came on the edge of the golden times of boxing. Can you imagine a heavyweight championship fight in Nashville, Tennessee, the first fight of the night, and it's like this? I mean, the heavyweight championship of the world. That's what you're watching.
Well, unfortunately, now that the heavyweight championship has been fragmented in so many different areas, this is what it has come down to. From time to time, it will happen.
Yeah. We got to accept it, but that's the way it is. You don't have to like it.
Well, many wonder what Scott Welch is doing here in the first place.
Step out.
Past the halfway point of round 11. Welch down once in his career, just in case you were wondering, against James Oyabola in '94. He lost by TKO round 5. He avenged it in '95 with a 10th round stoppage. Just not enough offense by the challenger, Scott Welch.
Hold it.
This fight thoroughly dominated by Henry Akinwande, but some will question Akinwande afterwards why he couldn't put Welch away at some point.
That'll be the only question. Why couldn't you put him away? Why couldn't you finish this guy?
The crowd responding, Ferdy and Bobby. The Boo Birds cascading down for the Nashville arena.
You know, Akinwande is not a finishing type fighter. He's a boxer, not even really a boxer puncher. Yes, he has excellent leverage with the right hand, and he can dig the uppercuts, but he is not a puncher, and that should be pointed out because it's just not his game. When he resorts to that, he comes out of what he does best.
Oh, a little footwork by Mr. Akinwande. But it really didn't fool Welch. Final seconds, round 11.
All right, tied up, break. Oh, what's that in there, Scott?
Well, it certainly hasn't been hard work for as far as mathematics is concerned. You just have to keep adding tens.
Hey, you're going to have a chance to fight him the next round. You got one more round.
3 beat. As long as you use your head and fight him, you win. As long as you use, don't lose your touch gloves when you come out. Yeah, we'll touch it. Can we get him? Can we knock him out this round? I want to see.
You're waiting too long.
I want to see it.
You've got 3 minutes. Don't work hard for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Come on. Do me a favour. Do it for me if you won't do it for no one else.
That's everything you got now.
Scott, sling everything, mate. Come on, little boy. Have a go for him. Do it for him. Bit of pride. Bit of pride. Bit of pride. Look at him. Knock him out, Scott. Knock him out. Don't say no. Last round, Scott. Go for knockout. Scott. Every punch a knockout shot. Hit him on the money. He'll go.
Let's see if they touch gloves here.
Right here.
I know they don't want to.
Touch gloves. Touch gloves.
They don't want to. Oh, look at this. Oh, and Welch finally offered it up first.
Well, the referee sort of forced that. He forced him before the fight.
Oh, nice.
And
Put that behind the net. One more and you're out. You're out. One more, okay?
Well, you heard Bill Connors again. He's going to disqualify Welch. One more headbutt like we just saw. He's been doing it all night long. Connors came into Henry's corner, said, 12th round coming up, touch gloves. And from the corner, somebody else, you're right.
And he had a picture of someone that he was showing his child or something. That's a new thing, a new teaching aid. You know, here's your kid, do it for him.
Inspiration.
He'll do anything to motivate a fighter. I've learned that many times.
A lot of frustration from that corner of Henry Akinwande with Don Turner leading the brigade. They are extremely frustrated by Akinwande here.
Well, it's not because Scott doesn't want to or doesn't have the energy to. It's that he doesn't know how. He's just not in the class of Henry Akinwande. He's just been outclassed, outboxed. That's not to say he's not brave, not to say he can't fight another type of fighter, but he can't fight this guy. And at this level, they can forget this guy.
Get him up a little higher, Scott. You hit him on the leg.
Yeah, that was the right hand to the thigh. I thought I saw it correctly. To the right hand, he just threw it out to hit him in the thigh.
See, that's a punch that should teach Galata. You know, he wouldn't get disqualified so much if he kept punching to the thigh, to the hip bone.
Just to confirm, Ferdy and Bobby, what you were talking about, that picture they showed was his baby boy named Thomas.
But you see, I feel that a photograph's not enough. It should have been an oil painting. As a painter, I object to that.
You know, whether it's done by picture or words, they'll resort to God, country, family, or friends if they think it'll make their fighter fight.
Yeah.
Right now, Scott Welch needs to fight.
Yeah. Doesn't make any difference what they're going to show. It doesn't make any difference. The class is here. It's a difference in class, period. That's the end of the statement for tonight.
Final minute of the fight. It's a little too late for the challenger, Scott Welch, who just did not offer up enough offense throughout, if any. A couple of punches here and there, and Henry Akinwande will also be criticized.
I don't believe Henry Akinwande's stock is going to go up from this fight. I really, truly don't, fellas. He had his man in what seemed to be very compromising position several times and backed up to reset far too often. And again, he didn't need to pull out a win. He was winning every round, but still, there's the close. You got to be a closer.
And Welch once again walking into a straight left hand by Henry Akinwande. And you'll hear the booing again at the bell in 10 seconds. They'll let these two fighters know their feelings here in Nashville. continue after the bell.
Yeah, now they fight.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, after the 12th round, now they fight.
You did good. You did good. USA.
Oh, they're still mad. Oh, let's not have another one of those Galata nights.
He's saying USA at Akinwande in response to the words of Scott Welch calling Akinwande a traitor.
Well, Welch said you did good, and Akinwande wasn't going to settle for that easy or peaceable of a reconciliation.
A little blood under the right eye of Scott Welch, and yeah, the best rumble took place after the bell there. Unfortunately, they were both ripped away from each other. We don't want any more riots. Henry Akinwande showing his disdain for the challenger Scott Welch, who was very vocal. Let's take a listen to exactly what happened in the corner there at the very end of the fight.
Oh, the fight's over, guys. The fight's over. Shake hands. You did good. You did good. USA.
Akinwande called Welch a chump, and then he said USA in response to Welch's calling Akinwande a fraud and a traitor, because Akinwande comes into the American anthem and lives in Florida. And Scott Welch says, oh, you want some more? Well, he should have saved it for the fight.
You know, fights are never won at the weigh-in or the press conference, or certainly not after the deed is done. You can't win it with words.
Well, we await what will be an obvious decision here. Let us take a look, Bobby, at the current heavyweight title picture. Of course, Akinwande coming in as the World Boxing Organization heavyweight champion. Evander Holyfield, who comes off that November 9th victory over Mike Tyson. The WBA champion, Michael Moorer. The enigmatic Michael Moorer, the IBF heavyweight champ. WBC is vacant, and there you see Big Henry. How did he get into this picture?
Well, you know, get into this picture. First of all, the man everybody's still chasing is not in the picture, is Mike Tyson. And the winner of McCall Lewis is going to be a big deal. And it's going to have to be a round robin somewhere, provided that promoters and networks and all the contracts can be weaved together and worked out. Henry Akinwande right now, though, I don't believe he's quite the fighter is Evander Holyfield or Mike Tyson or even Lewis, but he's close.
Well, hold on. Go this way first.
Well, we have what, without question, should be a predictable decision. Let's go to our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Well, fans, after 12 rounds of boxing here at the Nashville Arena, we have a unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. Our judge at ringside, Rafael Lopez Santos, scores at 119 to 110. Judges at ringside, Stuart Winston and Gene Williams, they both score the bout exactly the same, 120 to 108. All three in favor of the winner, and still champion, the undefeated Henry Akinwande.
That he won every single round. Welch was never, ever in the fight. It was a facile task for Akinwande, and the only real question about him there was, well, should he have finished Welch? Well, maybe not. You can argue about that, but frankly, Henry Akinwande did a pretty professional job from my standpoint anyway. What about you, Glenn?
It was a very good performance. Obviously, if we're going to be completely critical, we could say that maybe he should have stopped him. He should have just upped his work rate and just looked for more punches, Akinwande. But certainly, I get disappointment from Welch. I think he'd be disappointed himself. He worked so hard. He got in tremendous shape, but he just couldn't let anything go on the night. Couldn't get close enough and couldn't get his punches off.
Frank Warren, Scott's manager, Scott Welch's manager. Akinwande talking now with Freddie Pacheco.
Keep doing to just get close. And when the referee said break, you make sure that he always holding and punching after the clinch. You know,
the oddity here was before the fight, this guy was doing all the mouthing and noise, and after the fight, you're mad and he's calm.
You know, but I mean, you can see, you know, I mean, like he doesn't want to come and fight. You know, after the fight, he just says it's all right. But I take my job seriously, you know, but as you can see as well, he doesn't want to fight. I mean, I'm very grateful to Don King, you know, for putting this fight through.
I mean, in spite of the fact he wasn't fighting, are you satisfied with your performance? I know Turner, everybody wanted a knockout, but it's hard to knock a guy out that didn't fight him. Were you satisfied?
I'm not satisfied with it because, I mean, I want to knock him out, but I just can see the guy's trying to do whatever he wants to do, you know, to make sure that he kept holding on when the referee said break, you know. But, I mean, that's another win, you know, but I just have to go back to the gym.
Let me ask Don, in a fight like this, and we've seen a lot of fighting, when the opponent is just not doing it, is not throwing any punches, because he didn't throw any for about 4 or 5 rounds in a row, and he's landing right hands, is it possible that a referee comes over and says to him, hey, if you don't do better, I'm going to stop this fight?
It is possible. Referees have done that and made a guy go out and fight. However, as you can see, this guy wasn't fighting, but it was very difficult because it's awkward and he stayed bent down, and Henry was trying to do whatever he could do, but he kept that jab when it was working.
We were saying during the thing, you have a superior fighter here, but he hasn't got the name quality yet. To get the name quality, you got to knock out these kind of guys. This has got to be very frustrating for him. What do you do as a promoter to get this guy better fights, or fights that he's going to look good? He's a superior fighter, but he can't look good against a guy like that.
You're absolutely right, but the guy was the mandatory challenger. He was the #1 contender, and you must respect the rules of the organization. The WBO had him as #1 contender, so we had to fight him. Now you'll see Henry fighting anybody and everybody because that's what he wants to do.
Okay, Don, one last question. What did you mean by USA? At the end, you were taunting this guy about USA.
You know, as you can, I mean, you guys, you can, I mean, if you haven't known, if you haven't had it from the press conference, he said I betrayed England, you know, by coming to America and get the green card, you know. So, I mean, they've been running them out, you know, but I mean, as I said.
Is it true? You live in Tallahassee now?
I live in Tallahassee.
Is it true you're going to play for the Florida State Seminoles? Bobby Bowden says they're recruiting you for tight end if this doesn't work out with Don King.
No, I mean, I'm not contemplating.
All right. You are a boxer, the heavyweight champion of the world. Thank you very much.
Well, there's Henry Akinwande, still the WBO champion. Consummate professional performance. Should he have stopped Welch? You can argue about that, but Akinwande, well, he won everything from beginning to end there, and a disappointing night for Scott Welch.
So Henry Akinwande still